Star Wars by being a woman, and so everybody was upset. But then Gina Carano came out and said she was based and supported Trump. So then she was our girl. And so then everybody supported. That's just the way it goes.
And Quartering interviewed her, right?
Spaces, Quartering interviewed her and all this shit.
How you been, Steve? How's your Christmas holidays I've been so far?
Very, very good. Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, had a great Thanksgiving, and you guys, I'm kind of pissed off at you though because I used to pride myself on not keeping up with a lot of internet drama. And now because I watched yesterday's stream from beginning to end. So you don't have to get pissed if you don't bring me in because I'm probably just watching if I'm not on the show now. Because now I'm totally fascinated with a lot of this shit. And the Hawk Tua was my favorite story yesterday because this bitch,
the Hawk
Tua?
Oh my god, this bitch she was the luckiest girl on planet Earth, and she just destroyed her whole career to
right
on the rug scam. And apparently, that guy Doc that she's involved with, according to somebody that was in a space with CoffeeZilla, has pulled this rug pull 2 separate times before this one. So the story's going to get better because people are going to bring out the old scams, and she should have known better. She should have a manager or something that says, "Listen. Meme coins are a scam. They're so often a scam. It's best not get involved in this."
I thought she did. Isn't it Jake Paul's Better company is the one that hosts her? So she should have. He does. Like he was on the 3rd episode. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, some people are saying, because they had their own crypto scams, or at least Logan did.
Yeah.
Some people are saying the only reason they ever built her up was to pull another crypto rug pull scam.
Really?
$2 million. A couple $1 million.
The thing is, though, aren't they supposed to be multi-millionaires already? So, why do they need to pull these cheap fly-by-night scams? I don't know.
It's really, you would think, too, just in views, her podcast went from 0 to the 3rd most popular podcast on Spotify overnight. So
that's gotta be broke.
Imagine the revenue. Imagine the revenue that she's getting on a monthly basis or weekly basis, whatever. Spreaker pays. I don't know what her pay when she gets paid, but it's got to be tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. You don't need to screw your fans like that.
Yeah. Well go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
Well, I'll say, why did she do that? And secondly, you said start to finish yesterday. Did you watch Destination Stone at 0.25 speed?
I don't recall.
Okay, so you missed that.
So. I might have been having a little smoky smoke.
Okay.
You got to be careful with this, Steve. You got to be careful with this level of brain rot. You're supposed to be the smart one on the show.
Okay, yeah. I gotta maintain.
Steve, you got to keep reading your books and analyzing data and being intelligent. You can't be spending all day doing this shit. I think from the time I started covering these lolcows till now, I've probably dropped about 10 IQ points.
I gained IQ.
I've become progressively more
listening
retarded.
To alien grifters tell their
day
stories. Yeah, imagine listening to alien grifters tell their stories for 12 hours a day for years. I think I'm a little dumber than when I started too. Right?
I start to try and read books again. I'm like, oh man,
this is hard.
This is taking a lot of attention. I need to scroll my phone again and get instant dopamine. It's hard, man. It's tough.
Yeah, I need to play music while I read books myself because it's
Junior Bacon, Sneedberger asked Steven, who is your favorite lolcow? Who's your favorite Joker now, Steven?
In the alien world or all around? I don't know. I'm heavily following this Hawk Tua girl because I got to be honest that I'm a jealous, bitter little man. And the fact that I've been trying to be a content creator for 10 years and barely scraping Taco Bell wages, and she comes along and just does the Hawk Tua thing, talking about spitting on a dick and blowing
that
a guy.
thing.
And she's instant famous and instant career. And
it really is.
Bitter. I'm kind of bitter about that.
Why didn't you blow somebody?
I know. I would have blown somebody for that kind of money. I probably would have.
Thing,
not a fan of cocksucking, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Oh, man. By the way, we got $250,000 man for 10 subs. Dr. Nick Felting for subs. XX Azeroth for a sub as well. Let's go.
Oh, by the way, we are at 139 away from extended show, as well as who's going to throw another 100 subs for us to watch?
Fat Chick Thriller.
Okay. Hey, you want to stay for some nerds on the go?
No. We can't subject. We can't subject
I don't know
Steven to that.
I don't know what this is, but you know.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Somebody sent me a clip of Revenge of the Nerds, like recently, and I forgot how funny that movie was. But,
nothing like that. It's nothing like
that.
They
did that shit today, though. He basically rapes the girl at the end.
Yes, where he puts the mask on and pretends to be her boyfriend.
Yeah,
and that would never fly today. Everybody would say that's rape. And then she's like, you were
canceled easily.
You were so good. It's because virgins have to think about sex all day. Like, it's so.
You know what would be actually crazier? Porky's. Like Porky's today is the most vile movie. Like before it was like a quirky comedy. You watch it now, you're like, oh my God. How is not everyone in jail for this movie? Like, what?
It's pretty wild. It's pretty other. My dad would love that shit though. Porky's Revenge, and like we had this weird setup in our house where like me and my brother would sit at the bottom of the stairs, but there was a wall there, so he couldn't see us, and we were trying to like peek around and see some boobies when we were supposed to be in bed. You know.
I'm set up a new. Hang on, let me just set up a new.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a good day. It's a very, very good day. It's a great day. It's in fact the best day ever. Because Nicholas J. Fuentes, the Mexican child catboy leader of the white race, not only this week was he caught with Destiny sucking his penis there, but he's now been arrested. He's been locked up in Sing Sing.
I agree with you.
Never getting
happy. He's gonna have all the black dick he wants.
He's gonna get it all.
He's gonna have
all. This is his Christmas.
Of cocks, black cocks to suck. He's gonna love it.
This is his Christmas. He's like, I get to go where?
As they say, it's his body, Tyrone's choice.
Yeah, I gotta hear the whole story though, because it doesn't make sense. Like some girl knocks on his door and he maced her. Like I don't understand the whole.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch the video first of what happened. Great. So when we first saw this, we honestly thought nothing was gonna come of it. The police didn't seem interested in pursuing charges. It seemed like it was gonna be a wash and it was gonna be swept under the rug. But we learned that, today we learned that it was, I believe, on the 27th of November, he had to get booked for this. They fingerprinted him. They mugshotted him.
I saw the mugshots.
The mugshot.
The Mexican
He's not.
From the mugshots.
He's Mexican. I never, like, on the face of it. How can you have a Mexican white supremacist?
It doesn't make sense.
None of it never made any sense. Yeah. It never did. Okay, so we're going to pull up this video. Let's all watch it together. So, essentially, the newspaper, the article from Smoking Gun goes into more detail on the background. But essentially what happened is this. Nick Fuentes, after the election, said, you know, it's your body, my choice. He is saying, listen, you know, I now control your bodies, women of America. I decide what's going to happen. And his docs resurfaced. So he had already been doxxed on Kiwi Farms for a long time, but the normies found his docs. And they started circulating it on Facebook and on Twitter, and the people of Chicago basically decided to turn Nick Fuentes' house into their own, like, party plaza or whatever.
Yeah,
there were
like a block party.
There were people smoking Galaxy gas on his front lawn. People were showing up to voice their displeasure about Nick's comments and his evil shit or whatever.
You're like throwing tampons, used tampons
yeah,
at his house?
I don't understand how the guy still has a platform, because he's very anti-Semitic, and I don't want to start any conspiracy theories, but like, I'm surprised that they haven't like just completely canceled him off the internet.
Well, you would think, Steve, but a lot of people speculate he's what's called controlled opposition.
He's a Fed.
Meaning that the federal assets and agents that be direct him, and they use him to demoralize, people who would have similar ideas to him, or to make people in his camp look foolish and stuff.
Or to identify more of them.
Yeah. Or to identify more of them, which has been the case at a lot of his political conventions that he would hold, his AFPAC events. Listen to this, Steve. So in order to get in, you had to give him your driver's license. And then you also had to take a picture with him at the event that they hung on to. And then they would use this information to keep you in the organization and keep you donating. So there was a guy named Teddy Feezer.
You might know him, actually, from our intro.
He stopped supporting Nick. And so Nick used the driver's license photo to dox him and put him back in line. I know, what an asshole.
It's the guy, you know that song, The Best Day Ever, when our show starts?
I love
it's that guy.
That thing gets stuck in my head every time I hear it. It sounds
like a
Feezer. Bad Beach Boys song.
But anyway.
Oh, tell him about January 6th.
So on January 6th, I don't know if you've seen this clip, and maybe
I have seen this. Yeah, how did he not get? That's why people think he's a Fed, because everybody, dude, grandmoms that were like welcomed in by the police and just walked into the Capitol are doing years in jail, and he did a lot worse than that.
He had the megaphone?
Yeah.
He had the megaphone. He said, break down the barriers and disregard the police. We are taking the Capitol back. So that's straight up a call to violence. It's a call
Absolutely, yeah. It's inciting. It's inciting violence or inciting a riot.
Is. And there were people who weren't even there at the Capitol who were arrested. Like the leader of the Proud Boys, I don't even think he was there. And they gave him something like 25 years.
What?
Like they basically gave him life in prison for this stuff. Lots
of or that Q Shaman guy. A lot of people don't, but that Q Shaman guy was an alien wackadoo before he was famous for that.
Really?
He claimed he was a super soldier and he fought aliens in space on secret missions and shit. He's a total wackadoo. And then he became this Q Shaman.
Really?
And then this kind of we forgot about. I'm glad Papa Stovepipe reminded us of this. But Nick went to a meeting where he was going to sell all of his followers' data to Daily Wire executives, to pro-Zionist people. He was going to sell all of his anti-Semitic supporters' info out and just take this big bag and fuck off. But he was so
big bag of money, all my followers. Oh my God!
But he was so attention-seeking that he tipped off the reporters in the area that he was going to this meeting, and they photographed him going in. So then the people he was meeting with blew up the deal because they're like, we can't trust you to keep anything confidential or secret, you fucking idiot. So anyway, this situation, this woman is a grandma. She's 56 years old. She is a vegan. She's quite frail, and so she decided that she was going to go to Nick Fuentes' door and give him a piece of her mind.
Wait, you missed the important one. And she's Jewish.
She also... It's not good.
Imagine though, also like, listen, you guys, we're like lesser known for sure, especially me. But like, someday, if you're like a public figure, like someday somebody might find out where you live, and somebody might come knocking on your door. You don't just mace them, you know.
Well, you can't.
You can't.
Especially an old
do
lady,
that.
a frail old lady. What a pussy this guy is.
Well, so
why did he
his
stun
defense.
gunner too? Like, what the fuck?
So, Steven, his defense, okay, this is what he said to the cops. He said he was in fear for his life. He was afraid that he was going to die.
Did anybody get the body cam footage?
Oh, we
do.
got it.
We have it. We have it right here.
Oh,
We're
I was
gonna
just
watch.
gonna tell you. Oh, this is my new favorite thing: is body cam footage. Oh, I love it.
Wait, this is not body. No, this is her cam.
Oh, this is her cam.
This is her cam.
But there should be body cam footage of the police going to arrest him. That I might be able to get it for you guys.
Is
if you
there?
didn't get it already?
Well, it might be. It might be out there.
It's public records. I can get it for you, maybe.
Ooh, we love Steve. Oh boy, do we love Steve.
Rules.
I'll get right on it Monday morning. I can't do it. The weekends are terrible for that kind of stuff.
So
but I'll get right on it Monday. I'll see if we can.
We're gonna have a look at this footage and see if this is self-defense. If Nick had a reasonable fear for his life from this vegan Jewish girl.
Bitch. This is not self-defense. You don't just mace an old lady. Come on.
Well, let's have a look.
Let's see how dangerous the situation was.
Hi. Oh my God! What are you doing?
Oh yeah. And then he
He
pushed
opened
her
the
down
door.
the stairs.
Yes.
Opened the door and just straight maced her. He didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't even,
And then kicked her down.
Now,
Sparta kicked her down the stairs.
What I focus on with that is her tone of voice. Like, she wasn't cussing him out. She wasn't screaming. She wasn't threatening violence. She rang the doorbell. Within 1 second, the door opened and he maced her as she said hi in a very friendly, grandma-like voice.
This is a hate crime.
Now, he pushes her down the stairs, and apparently she broke 8 ribs.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's rough. I had a crack rib once, and it was terrible. So imagine breaking 8 of them. Jesus.
By the way,
Actually, I think they might be cracked. I think it might be 8 cracked ribs. We'll get into it.
may I also
Her
just say one
statement
thing,
about
though? I gotta say one thing. For, like, in Nick's kind of defense, not defense, but, like, in his perspective, you as a person shouldn't go to people's houses. You never know what's going to happen.
Too much.
You knock
Too
on
much,
someone,
yeah.
especially like a public figure who's like a fucking edgy right wing, you know, in your mind, he's a Nazi, right? What if he opened the door and just shot you with a shotgun and blew you away? Like, you're risking your life when you show up at people's houses, especially in America. So just going to say
But
that.
you do have a right to knock on someone's door.
You do.
Like,
yes.
you do, and you can't just attack somebody for knocking on your door.
Exactly.
Especially when it can be handled in a multitude of different ways that don't need to involve violence. You could
you get I don't want to speak to you. Get off my property now, or I'm calling the police. That would be my first go-to.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
or just not open the door. You know, could be an option. Just don't open the door.
Yeah.
Maybe call the police. Or you can open the door and you know, make content with it. Say, get off my porch, you fucking bitch. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Fight with her. Like, he is a content creator. He could have done something with that. But yeah, she probably shouldn't be there.
Exactly.
But you can't do this, especially when the authorities in Chicago, as we found out today, they would love to prosecute Nick Fuentes.
Why?
And they're going to take great joy in it. I have no idea. Imagine, like, the leader of America's foremost white supremacist neo-Nazi organization that the authorities in Chicago that tend to be very liberal would have a problem.
They're definitely liberal. Yeah, they're going to throw the book at him for this. They're going to. I bet you they're going to charge him with a lot more than one charge. It's going to be like multiple charges. That's what DAs in the, I don't know about Canada, but in the United States, they hit you with everything they can so that something sticks. So they'll hit him with 5 charges or something, you know.
Oh, and the prosecutor she was like this black woman.
Yes.
Right? Like,
the prosecutor.
He's
so fucked, Steve. Like, it's gonna be so he goes, they'll offer him a plea. Listen, if it was anybody else, I would agree with you that they would probably let him plea out and get a slap on the wrist. But this is this DA's opportunity to make a name for themselves, you know? This is their opportunity to play hardball with a public figure that's despised and make a name for themselves. Let's watch this one more time. Let's watch it all the way through, and let's see the conclusion here.
Here we go.
Hi. Oh my God! What are you doing?
Opens the door and goes right at her.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah, and then
He apparently stomps on her.
steals her phone.
It's so dark in there and creepy, man. It's like the incel gooner cave, bro. Like,
Oh, man.
So he took her phone, and the cops had to ask him to take it back.
Give it back to her. Yeah, I guess. Oh, man,
So,
that's something else.
honestly, now this happened a few weeks ago, and we figured, nothing's gonna come of this. Doesn't seem like the police took any action or whatever. But it turns out today we had a headline, we had an article come out from the Smoking Gun of all places. Battery charge for racist Nick Fuentes. Woman said she was maced.
Racist right in the article.
Right,
Jesus
right
Christ.
right in the headline. Oh no! No!
They should have said battery charge for Mexican white supremacist racist. It's so stupid. It's like the Chappelle thing when he was in the KKK. He was blind, so he didn't know he was black.
Yeah, where he's the leader of the Bigums or whatever his name was.
My favorite part is actually underneath there where it says, woman says she was maced and shoved to ground by bigot. By bigot.
Bigot. He's a bigot. Oh.
You bigot. Okay.
They're
so
gonna
the
paint this. They're gonna paint this against him real bad because she's Jewish
yeah.
and he's
She's-
a known
this title.
Yeah,
That's where they can add like the hate crime enhancements and stuff like that, and say his motivation was racial hatred and stuff like that.
Oh, then
Not to mention, Steve, the lady is filing a lawsuit against him.
Oh
for
yeah,
pain.
so he's gonna have to pay pain
Yeah,
and suffering and all
pain
that
and
shit.
suffering.
Get a good lawyer.
Oh no,
That's an
buddy!
easy judgment too. You show a jury that fucking tape, you're fucked.
And also,
He's
Steve.
fucked.
Steve,
He's
remember,
fucked.
she's got hundreds of groypers DMing her death threats.
It's beyond that now. So in this article, I hate to spoil it, but the groypers are now sending mail, like threatening letters to her home address.
Oh,
that are labeled from your Republican congressman, and inside are like Pepe's and all sorts of like racist memes and shit like that. They're so dumb. They're so dumb. They're making it way worse.
mailing her letters. Right?
They're mailing her
I
letters.
put the real return address on it because these people aren't the brightest bulbs. These assholes.
So Nick Fuentes, the notorious racist and anti-Semite,
He's
has
having a bad couple of weeks though, because how do you go from like there's a tape and he blew Destiny and all that, and then like the next week you get arrested for macing an old lady.
Steve, yo,
it's
Ash,
not good.
the broken telephone is so good. Now it's Nick was blowing Destiny.
Yeah, now Nick was sucking Destiny off. It's so Kino.
Destiny was blowing him. I wasn't paying attention to who was blowing who. I know there was a blowing incident between the two of them.
The fucking broken telephone. So Nick was getting fucked in the ass.
Somebody called it the dick to prison pipeline. Oh boy. Okay, so he was been charged with battery for a confrontation outside his Illinois home with a woman who said she was maced and shoved to the ground by the scrawny white supremacist. Just the level of
scrawny too.
The pettiness is on another level with this article, bro. The scrawny white supremacist. They may as well have called him a manlet as well. They may as well have called him a midget. Like
incel?
Bitch. Yeah.
A 5'2" scrawny white supremacist who's fat. You know, that bothers him. It cuts him to his soul to hear that he's fat. Really bugs him. All right, Fuentes, 26, was booked on the misdemeanor count last Wednesday at police headquarters in the Chicago suburb where he lives, according to documents obtained by the Smoking Gun via a public records request.
Listen, I don't know what you know about prisons and even especially local jails, but like if there's some black dudes in there that know who he is, that's not a good place to be.
No, it's really not. It's really not. It's really not a good spot for him.
I could see some bad shit happening. Like, hey, aren't you Nick Fuentes? You got a pretty mouth, boy. You know?
He's gonna go, yes, I am. Let's go, yes.
It's like this is my dream, Tyrone.
Someone bails him out. He's like,
no.
Does anybody
No,
know?
it's not fair.
Did he bail out already, or what?
He bailed. He did get bailed out. Yeah,
but he has his court hearing on the 19th.
Yes, on the 19th, which he was hoping nobody would know about, which is why he stayed silent about all of this until today. Now, the 19th of December is going to be a media circus at that courthouse.
Oh, there's going to be footage of it. Yeah.
There's going to be footage of him having to go into the courtroom. It's going to be awesome. And I hope that the whole proceeding, the whole trial is televised. We all get to watch it, commentate on it. And it's Josh Moon's birthday.
It's Josh's birthday?
Josh Moon's birthday is Nick Fuentes' court hearing day.
Meme magic.
Happy birthday to Josh.
By the way, a real fast here. Matt Hat Merchant for 5 subs. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Bull Action Loser subscribed, and Review Lack of Beef USA subscribed, bringing us 134 away from the goal.
Let's get some subs. Let's hit that goal.
Let's go.
Big support. Thank you.
All right, let's go to the next page in the article.
Okay.
Marla Rose, a 57-year-old resident, told cops that after seeing an online Fuentes post in regards to women's bodies that declared, "Your body, my choice," she decided to record a video of her on Fuentes' property. While recording, Rose said a female passerby encouraged her to speak with Nicholas, so she rang his front doorbell. Fuentes opened the door and allegedly, which we just saw as factually, immediately sprayed her in the face with pepper spray and pushed her with both hands on her upper body, causing her to fall backwards down the stairs and onto the concrete below. Fuentes then grabbed Rose's phone and momentarily went inside his house before coming back out. The passerby told police that after Fuentes sprayed her in the face with what she believed was pepper spray, Rose was pushed to the ground and Fuentes grabbed her phone and threw it against the concrete floor. A video recorded by Rose shows Fuentes pointing an object at Rose, who says, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" He can be heard saying, "Get the fuck out of here," after Rose's phone falls to the floor. Phone keeps recording. We saw all of that. But this isn't good. You know, it's the perfect victim. It's almost too perfect in a way, where it's like,
are you sus about something?
An elderly woman who happens to be Jewish, and that's who he assaults. Like, he's
perfect.
So fucked. He's so screwed.
And imagine how stupid he is, because think about this. He had possession of her phone. Does he not know how to delete a fucking video? He's an idiot. Because, look, if he deleted that video and then the cops came, he could have said anything. She lunged at me. She was belligerent. She threatened to kill me.
Right.
She reached for something. And he would have got off scot-free. But the fact that he had possession of her phone and he was too dumb to delete the video, he fucked himself completely on this whole thing. He could have got off scot-free to delete the fucking video.
The other problem he has is he has cameras on his property that captured all of it as well. So the police have probably required him to turn those over at this point as well.
Yeah, he can't delete it. He could have deleted that shit too, though. You know,
filming your own evidence.
he should have deleted it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
that would have been the first thing that I would have done.
Burn the tape.
And I'm no criminal mastermind, but the first thing I would have done is delete the video on that bitch's phone.
All right, let's go to the next part of the article
and
here.
Ace King Suited, thank you for the sub, man. Appreciate you, bud.
Yeah, very generous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big support.
So, questioned by a Berwyn Police Department officer, Fuentes said that he had posted a political joke online. That's his defense. You know, it's just a political joke. It's
your body, my choice. It's just a joke.
It's just a little political joke. It's not like I'm saying I'm trying to take over America and institute a Catholic theocracy over the United States and, you know, remove women's rights. And, you know, he also talks about abolishing the age of consent. But he's just joking, bro. It's all just jokes, bro. It's just a prank, bro. I'm going to love to see this defense in court. That it was all just joke. He just posted a political joke online. And for the past 3 days, he had been getting online death threats and people showing up at his house unannounced, which left him in fear for his life. In fear for his life. What's funny to me, by the way, though, is this guy doesn't own a gun at all.
Yeah, Mr. Right-wing, extremist, you would think he has the
arsenal.
I don't know. Yeah,
you'd think he would protect it, but instead all he has is this shitty little pepper spray.
Yeah, it looks like something that comes to a woman's purse,
He has Nerf guns?
I know it's the exact opposite of being in fear for his life. The reason that he answered the door was because it was an old woman. If this was a young guy that was in shape or a group of young guys, he would never have opened the door and confronted them because he would have been scared.
Yeah.
The reason he opened the door is because he wasn't scared and he wanted to set an example. He wanted to make an example out of this old woman by violently assaulting her because he felt like he was stronger than her and he felt like he could get away with it. And that's what this situation is. This wasn't self-defense. This wasn't him in fear for his life. This was him in
I agree. Send a message.
Yes,
to all the other people. You better not come to my house, or you'll get
Wait.
You'll get
it was a premeditated attack on an elderly woman to try and make himself look like a big man.
Wait,
is
Ash,
what it was.
Ash, no, I think you're wrong here. In shape, young guys, he would have definitely opened the door.
He would have invited them in.
Oh no!
Blown all of them.
So a responding officer. Now this is interesting because what the officer says here kind of contradicts what Marla's story is a little bit in regards to these injuries. A responding officer observed Marla's eyes to be watery, but no other physical injuries. And initially she said that she had no physical injuries. The story has now changed, and she said that because of adrenaline, she didn't feel the pain, but when she went to the doctor, she discovered she had these broken or cracked ribs. So I don't know how much this police officer's, saying she had no injuries at the scene will play in as opposed to, now, if the doctor did an examination and she does have these injuries, they probably were caused by this situation. But that is an interesting detail on the side of Nick that the cop said she had no visible injuries.
Well, you can't see broken ribs from the outside, though, or cracked ribs from the outside, so she has a good defense for that. And she probably talked to a lawyer between her first contact with police and the next one,
She probably threw herself down a few set of stairs.
I'm sure
a
lawyer that wants to file a civil suit is going to tell her, no, you go file charges right away because that'll help our civil case against him.
Yeah. She definitely broke her own ribs when she made it home to get the money.
That's what she took the hammer. Bang, bang, bang.
Just punch me. Just punch me.
She went to her husband and handed him a hammer. Like
she got called. She got called in by Mossad. The Israeli Special Forces. Now you must make a sacrifice for the nation of Israel. I'm sorry, Rose. We must break these ribs. 8 of them. Okay, so after initially being unwilling to sign a complaint against Fuentes, Rose contacted the cops last week and advised that she had opted to press charges. Now, this is interesting. On November 25th, Rose told cops that a sealed envelope had been mailed to her home, and she was afraid to open it. The envelope sent from Miami by your Republican congressman, which is a reference to that political ad that was constantly being played about abortion and porn. I'm your Republican congressman, and I'm here to take, you know what I mean? That's that reference. And Nick referenced that several times on his show when he was doing this Your Body, My Choice bit. So it was sent by your Republican congressman. The letter was opened by cops and found to contain papers related to Donald Trump, Nicholas Fuentes, and other memes. The envelope was placed in evidence for safekeeping. So basically, they're now trying to intimidate this woman by mailing stuff to her house. Wow. Really not smart. Really, really dumb.
I think it's Feezer, dude.
I wouldn't be surprised. Isn't he down there in Florida, the sleazy Feez? I'm pretty Damn it, Feezer, you blew it again.
By the way, everyone, I have Steve's link up there. Go subscribe to him. Let's show him some love. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. Do you know, like, my audience almost doubled from being here. And so I want to thank you guys.
Wow.
Like not my subscriibers, but my live viewers, you know?
Wow.
Like, it's just crazy the jump that we took. But I learned a lesson last night, which is, I do a show and I'm like, where is everybody at? Like, I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I realized you guys were broadcasting, so all the Kino people were going to do the replay crew.
It's the DSP complaint.
All right, so here we have the battery charge. Here's the officer's report.
Nick Fuentes.
So this is an incident report here, a supplemental report. On the above date, I was informed that Nicholas Fuentes was in... I'll just scroll down.
Oh, sorry.
In the lobby of the police department, I met with Fuentes and at 1903 hours, escorted him into a secure non-public area where we traveled to the booking area. Fuentes was searched for weapons and seated on a bench. Fuentes was fingerprinted for positive identification and processed on the following: 1 Class A misdemeanor, which is the highest level misdemeanor that you can receive in the state of Illinois.
That looks like a felony charge of assault to me, though. That doesn't look like a misdemeanor, what he did. That's weird.
I know. It's only a misdemeanor. You'd think it would be a felony charge. Now, they could later on choose to charge him with a felony, or they could boost it up later, based on other evidence that they receive. But as of right now, it is a Class A misdemeanor charge. Now, here Marla says it's on civil case pending.
Fire emoji. The fire emojis.
The fire emojis.
3 of them, yes.
The fire. I have a really bad joke I'm not going to say, but go ahead, Ash.
Okay.
I thought that was bad. Okay.
This is basically the police report of the incident. I love how the race isn't specified there. I wonder if they listed him.
Race, then opened the door.
I wonder if they listed him as Hispanic. That would be so humiliating for him. Fuck that. Okay. We basically have seen. We basically understand at this point. Let's go. Okay. Same thing here. These are just basically the police reports. There's not a whole lot of information in them that we haven't already described to you. Go to the next slide. Next slide.
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay. So in Illinois, battery is defined as intentionally making physical contact with another person to injure, provoke, or insult them. And so this Class A misdemeanor can result in a year in prison, a fine of up to $2,500, probation for up to 2 years, and restitution.
Oof.
How likely it is that he would
pay her medical bills.
Yeah.
He's a millionaire, though, right? So,
we'll see. They might be coming for that house, buddy. They might be coming for that house there. Here's Nick pleading for him to be freed.
Free me,
free me, free me. That's the mugshot. That's the one in black and white. And buddy, does he ever look chubby these days? But
you know who he looks like? On the right, especially? Angry Joe.
Angry Joe is there. Angry Joe.
He looks like Angry Joe.
But doesn't he just look like a common Hispanic thug? You know, he looks like exactly the sort of illegal immigrants that he complains about on his show that get arrested for crimes. He looks very similar to that. So this was the initial black and white mugshot we got. But if we go to the next slide, we can see it in full color. Oh, actually, go. This is there it is in full color. Here it is in full color, folks.
I can't unsee it now. I can't unsee it.
Look at the unfathomable sadness in his eyes. We gotta have this as an emote. Let's get 10 subs right now.
This shit, yes.
20 subs to have both of them as emotes so we can have the side profile and the head-on view. Nick Fuentes in chains, fingerprinted, mugshot. The walls are closing in for him. And I'm going to say this, now this is my prediction. This is really only the beginning, I believe, for Nick's legal troubles. Not just this criminal case with her, the civil case with her. But I really do believe that Fuentes is going to receive a reckoning when it comes to the January 6th stuff. When we looked at the NBC Wall Street Journal article, it said that they were contemplating putting charges on Fuentes, but then decided not to. So they must have felt like they had some sort of a case against him, and then something changed somewhere along the line. Either he cut a deal or what, but they didn't prosecute him. I think that his usefulness to his handlers is coming to an end. And I have a feeling this is just part one of that. And in 2025, we are pretty much going to see the permanent end of Fuentes. I don't think it's going to be necessarily this incident that puts him away forever.
It's the start of it.
This is the start of that downward spiral.
It's like the domino, right? The domino is the first domino.
No, we got to get both of these as stickers because we got Cockmaster Flex for 10 subs. Rick Nikita for 10 subs. Ramsos 85 for 10 subs. Archduke Instinct for 10 subs. Devious Rep, Lucky Robot, and XX Azoth XX all for 1 sub.
Wow, that means we're 88 away from Fallout New Vegas.
Why did it have to be 88? Come on. Come on. During the Fuentes segment, let's get a few subs to get off of that number.
Let's get 14 subs to get off of
that.
No,
stop it. Stop it. Oh, my goodness. You're going to get us banned, buddy. Okay, go back one slide.
I have to make the... Hang on, let me just make the...
All right, make the stickers.
He's going to make this...
Sorry.
Buddy, look at that.
I take it back. I take it back.
Somebody posted... I think it was Gabe Hoffman posted... it was top 10 gay hairstyles of 2024. And this hairstyle Nick had in the mugshot was on the list of the top 10 gay hairstyles of 2024.
It is pretty gay. I don't even know what's going on with that. It's like he shaves the side and then he puffs up the top. Like, what is he thinking?
Like, from the side, it looks like he's got a faux hawk going on. But then from the front, it disappears. So I'm not really sure what's going on there.
I have the first one. Let me...
Bro, you know he's seething about this. You know he's seething about it all being made public, being exposed. You think he's going to talk about this,
or is he going to just keep his mouth shut about it and pretend it didn't happen?
Well, from what I hear, they did a big Twitter space today, all of the groypers, where they said that this was evil and a travesty of justice, and he didn't do nothing.
I thought crime was based, though.
That's what Nick said earlier. I mean, that was
the old lady. Like, come on, dude.
Come on.
Nick was asked about Ralph and Baked Alaska from back in the day, right? He's like, crime is based. You know, if you commit crimes, you're based. Well,
you're going against the regime.
You're going against the regime or whatever. Yeah.
Well, we'll see how well
right?
going against the regime is going to go for you there, Nick. I have a feeling he'll be submitting to whatever deal the state offers him, if they offer him a deal at all.
He's going to get probation. He's not going to do jail. I don't think.
No, Steve. No, don't bring in common sense.
I don't know his history. If he has no priors,
it's true though. You're right.
But then again, with a violent crime, they do. He'd be much more likely on a first offense to get off with probation if not.
How about if they add a hate crime though? How about if they add a hate crime?
Yeah, they could add a hate crime to it. Yeah.
You never know, but I think if it was anybody else, that's certainly the case. He's going to get away with probation, slap on the wrist. It being him, even though that's not right and that's not how our legal system is supposed to work, I have a feeling he's going to have a much harder time because of who he is. They might
crucify him. Yeah, they might crucify him.
And that might be
You know what would be great if he got a Jewish judge.
I think, and now Josh Moon said this
or
today.
even a black judge, any minority is going to look at him and be like, fuck, you're going to prison,
try and do
dude.
the Trump argument and say there can't be a black judge or a Jewish judge because of who he is.
Yeah, I need a white guy to be my judge.
He needs an old white Catholic judge.
An old white Catholic judge, yes.
Can you imagine if he gets a Jewish woman as the judge?
Oh.
No! It's over! Your Honor, we'd like to submit it. I just want to see it playing. Your Honor, we'd like to submit into evidence Nick Fuentes saying having sex with women is gay. We'd just like to play this for the court.
Could you imagine his lawyer, though? Your Honor, I object to you. You have to recuse yourself because my client is a racist, white supremacist, anti-Semite. So we're going to need a white judge, Your Honor.
Lady Snowbud says... They just got in here. Is this real? Yes, this is real.
He got everyone arrested for January 6th. He's a Fed. This is base, Frederick, okay? Like, come on.
He's had this coming for a long
up. He's a Fed. He gets people fucking put in jail.
He got young men arrested and put in solitary confinement. And then he didn't raise a single nickel, not $1 for their defense. In fact, he disavowed the people that he got arrested on his orders and called them all losers as they rotted in solitary confinement for him.
Yeah. So he didn't need to raise money. He could have just paid for lawyers to help him.
I know, but he did
what he said.
But he did.
Right? Yeah.
He didn't. So I have no sympathy for him.
I don't support Feds.
I cry no tears for him. Yeah. He gets exactly what he deserved. He was stupid enough to assault a woman on camera. Okay? With being in the position that he is, as high profile as he is, at the end of the day, you get what you fucking deserve. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
So now this is going to be her civil case and all that.
Okay.
She says, when Fuentes pushed me down the stairs after pepper spraying me, I was injured. I didn't realize at the time because that's how adrenaline works, I guess. I finally had a small window of time where I could get my arm and my side checked out. My arm, though bruised and sore, seems to be okay for now, but x-rays and a CT scan found that the fall did break 6 of my ribs.
Oh, 6, not 8. Wow.
Yeah, 6 ribs. Numbers 2 through 7 high up on my chest and radiating out. The first bones I've ever broken. The doctor at the hospital was a little shocked at my mobility, my seeming normalcy. She said that they usually admit most people after breaking 3 or more ribs, at least overnight, but that I was free to go home and I was eager to do that. I missed my dog and cat and I wanted to be home. So he's really, really fucked. If this is the case, if she has like actual real injuries, like it's not...
Not good.
It's not going to be
Or just imagine a jury of 12 people watching that video and looking over at the plaintiff, being a frail old lady. I would crucify that dude if I was on that jury. Like,
well, and that's the thing is like the sort of jury that he's going to be getting in Chicago is not going to be favorable.
It's going to be
multicultural.
multicultural. Yeah, it's going to be multicultural. And they might Google some shit you said over the years, you dumbass.
That's the thing is, how is it even going to be possible for him to even get a fair trial in Chicago? I don't even think it's going to be possible for that to be the case. And again, people said to him for years, you need to leave Chicago. You need to leave the state of Illinois. Mm-hmm. If he was in rural Idaho or Texas and he did this, he would probably have a much better chance of getting away on a self-defense case, even though, you know, it really wasn't self-defense. It was like a premeditated attack on an old lady because she was weaker than him. But he's living in the state of Illinois. Like, he's living in Chicago. They're not going to be favorable to his position. Okay, we're going to go, let's go ahead a little bit, a few more frames, and we're going to hear the Feezer cope. Here we go. Teddy's cope, he says, pick goes hard. Massive W for... Massive W! Black is white, up is down, the sky is green. Guys, this is a big W. It's an L for the leftists and Jews. No, I actually think... leftist Jews, Seethers, and A-logs have never been more winning in this moment, actually. Ted, you gotta stop coping. You gotta stop guzzling this guy's cum. He's the one who doxed you, bro. My God. So then it just continues. It continues, though. Oh, boy. He says Marla Rose got less than she deserved. The judge will be exonerate Nick for exhibiting such grace.
What?
Now, I don't know if I can trust the legal opinions of a man who can't even construct a sentence properly. But I don't think the judge will be exonerating Nick for exhibiting such grace, Teddy. Teddy got feasered on this. It's just the dumbest take. Retard alert! Retard alert! Retard! Does he think the judge is going to stick a gold star on Fuentes? Like a gold
good
star
job
sticker?
making an old lady and breaking 6 of her ribs.
Here's your
prize and let you out of
Presidential Medal of Freedom, sir. And here's your free $1 million. Come on.
Jesus Christ.
Teddy's coping heart. Where they're saying that
meme, but I can't play it. The funniest Nick Fuentes meme.
I saw that too. S.O. Shaggy was seething at Jim and doxing his wife just because Jim posted Lamau.